We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Alice, welcome. What are you here today for?
So I'm getting married in December. We just got engaged in May, so it's a very short engagement, and we've had a lot of decisions to try to get through really quickly. And I wanted to have the opportunity to kind of get some of my struggles out there and talk to somebody about it.
So can you tell me a little bit more about how you guys met?
Yeah, we met in 8th grade, actually, a very long time ago. We were best friends all the way through high school. Everybody said we were going to end up together. We didn't want to risk our friendship. And we were both everybody always said we were a lot more mature than the rest of our age group. So it was a very different, wasn't a typical high school relationship when we did in senior year eventually decide to give it a try and see what happened. And looking back, I feel like I knew already at that point that there was a reason I was willing. I had never had a serious relationship. I wasn't really a dating type of person. And I knew that by taking that risk with him that it was something I was looking at long term. And we did long distance all the way through our undergraduate degrees, and now we're again doing some long distance, not as far, but doing some distance between my graduate program and his medical school program.
Okay. So this long distance, I guess throughout your college career, can you tell me more about how that kind of affected it, or how that brought a challenge to your relationship?
Yeah, I actually thought it would be a lot more difficult than it was, and I think it was actually the best decision that we could have made. We had a whole year in high school of just us 24/7 together. We knew each other really well. We were best friends. We knew what we wanted, but we both had goals that were going to take us to different places. So I think the distance actually allowed us to explore our independent sides and still, at the end of the day, discover whether or not we were what each other wanted. And people always asked me throughout that time, like, oh, how do you do it? Like, how are you guys so happy and not seeing each other? And my answer was always the same. It was just, no matter what I do, no matter where, we were in different countries during that time period multiple times. And I always just said, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, at the end of the day, he's the person that I want to call and tell how my day went. And that's how I know. That's how I know that he's what I need, he's what I want at the end of the day.
Okay, so it's like you kind of overcame that challenging long distance relationship, and now it's long distance, but also now it's even more with the engagement. Does it feel any different with the engagement? Like, is it a lot more challenging, or does it just feel super similar?
I really thought it would. I thought it would be a lot different. It hasn't been so far, and I think it's because the distance came into play again. We weren't expecting to have the distance. He got into UK's medical school, but they have a med center in Bowling Green, and I was looking at going to Western, and I was already accepted into their program. So we got an apartment and we moved in together, which was not something that we took lightly. It wasn't part of the plan. Neither one of us wanted to live together before we got married, but at that point we were going to be in the same city, and financially it made sense. And his family was a little bit more hesitant than mine. We were all on the same page with some commitments that we'd made already about waiting until marriage and everything. So we knew that living together would just serve as one more opportunity to have kind of a test, like to see, because we'd been apart for so long that we wanted to make sure that we hadn't done any damage to our relationship, and that we could still be in the same place for extended periods of time and be as happy as we were. We got so comfortable with our situation, and then I got a phone call from here and was offered the job here, and they had a graduate program, so I switched everything in a couple of days, and we're back to distance, and it's comfortable. So it's what we're used to. But it was a lot more difficult this time because I had that summer. We had all summer together, and we were engaged, and we were doing all of this wedding planning and doing all the things that we've been looking forward to, and making different kind of plans than we had before. So our families got on board with our living situation, and now I'm here most of the time anyway, so it's only a couple of days of the week that I'm in Bowling Green. But I thought it would be a lot different. It hasn't been yet.
Could you tell me more about like your thought process and I guess your fiance's opinion on what made you come to Lindsay and with the distance, I guess. So
so he is my number one fan, my biggest supporter, and I'm his without a doubt. The call came from my college coach, who moved here to take over the coaching position and wanted me to come as his assistant. And the only downfall with my plan at Western was the lack of volleyball. I was losing volleyball for the first time in 12 years, that it wasn't going to be a part of my life anymore, and I was struggling with that. And my sister still plays, and I was hoping to get involved with her program or something, and it just wasn't going to work. They offered me a job at my high school, but I didn't think that the commuting would work out, and this opportunity not only paid for school, which was a huge factor, but it's a very high-level volleyball program, and I'm with somebody that I know, that I'm comfortable with, that I trust, who I've coached with before, who I've played with before, who I've played for. And when he called Caleb, there was no question. He told me I needed to go, and I needed to do it. And he's, again, I think it actually works out well for us, because his medical school program is obviously med school. It's challenging, it's tough, and he is a very, very dedicated, studious person, and he will lock himself away for hours studying. And so he was worried about me feeling like he wasn't giving me enough attention or time if he had to be in that situation where he has to lock himself away. And I know that he would never do that intentionally, but I probably would have felt like that at some points. And so at this point, we're once again independently chasing our dreams and finding the things that make us happy, but we're still together and still figuring out how eventually our together is going to be actually in the same space for an extended period of time.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a lot, it sounds like you get a lot of support from him in coming to Lindsay, and that's a big, I guess a big decision for you guys. And it sounded like the tension, I guess, could you maybe go on and tell me more about like the attention?
Yeah, I mean, relationship takes work. It's not, we don't believe that we're soulmates, that it's just going to be perfect because we're meant to be together. We know that it takes work to be where we are and to be as happy as we are for as long as we have been, and we have the rest of our lives to continue to figure that out. But he always worries that he can't give me enough of the attention. It's not so much attention, but just that we lose so much time together that it's going to create distance. And I think it's just a rational fear in any relationship, that if you're apart enough that you'll start to drift apart emotionally. And so he's very, very worried about me. He wants to make sure he's taking care of me. And I'm not a super, I don't know the word, but I don't need as much attention. I know there's like a stereotype that women need all this attention and have to be looked after all the time. I'm not one of those people, and he knows that, but I have moments, obviously, where I feel like I am alone, completely alone, and I'm in a new place, and I'm in a new situation, and I'm not a player anymore, so I have boundaries with the girls that I'm coaching, and I have to learn this new position in this new place, and this new me, this new chapter in my life, and he's my constant. So he looks at it, he worries more than he needs to, and I've told him that over and over again, but I also love that he worries. I love that he wants to make sure that he's doing everything he can, that we're both putting in everything that we need to put in to make us work.
Yeah, so it's like this worry for him is actually like maybe a good sign for both of you all. So this new situation, it sounds like you're kind of, I don't know, maybe experiencing stress or anxiety over the new situation. It's brand new, yeah. Maybe, I guess, how did you, or tell me more specifically how this new situation, how are you handling it?
I know the game very, very well. I've coached since I was in high school, started coaching at my middle school. I've been doing it a long time compared to some people my age, but this is the first time that I'm not doing it as a player anymore. So I'm learning how that role works, and I'm also at a school that's a lot different than the school I played at, and there's a lot, I'm learning the business side of things and the paperwork administration side of things, and that is stressful to me, but it's a good stress. It motivates me to keep working really hard and to make sure that I'm on top of things. And I don't thrive under pressure, but it keeps me going and keeps me focused. And I'm a list person. I make lists of my lists, and I have them everywhere. And I think it's been good for me, but it does cause me some stress that I wasn't anticipating. And sometimes I forget that I also have a wedding to plan, and that's my stress reliever. We got a lot of it taken care of, and it's what makes me excited again and reminds me that everything that I'm doing here is worth getting to that point, and we'll move on from there.
Exactly. So it's like, what I'm hearing is that this is kind of like a step for you all to get to where you want to go. You know, you're trying to learn the ins and out of coaching, and then you also have this big wedding to plan, right? And it's on the back burner, or not the back burner, but it's getting really close and approaching. So next time, possibly we'll dive deeper into the wedding.
Absolutely.
That situation. So thank you.
Thank you.